You know, we often think of spiritual greatness as this big lightning bolt moment, some grand life-changing event. But what if the real secret, the real architecture of a meaningful life isn't some pyramid built overnight? What if it's more like a temple, laid brick by brick every single day? We're about to dive into how the smallest, most consistent actions are the actual key to building a life that matters.
So to get right to the heart of this, let's look at this incredible question from the Midrash. The sages asked something really profound. If you had to boil down the entire Torah, all of it, all its wisdom, all its laws, into just one single verse, which one would it be? And this question started a huge debate. Ben Zoma, he suggested Shema Yisrael. I mean, that's our ultimate statement of faith, right? Makes sense. Ben Nanas offered love your fellow as yourself, the bedrock of how we treat each other. Both fantastic, powerful choices. But then, Shimon ben Pazi gave an answer that seemed to come completely out of left field. This was his pick, not a huge declaration of faith or a grand ethical principle, but a seemingly technical instruction about a daily sacrifice in the temple. At first glance, you kind of scratch your head, right? It feels almost mundane. Why would this verse, out of all the amazing, profound statements in the Torah, be the one that holds the key to the whole thing? Well, this verse is describing the korban tamid, the constant offering. It was brought every single morning and every single afternoon, no matter what, without fail. And here's the kicker, the crucial point. Halacha, Jewish law, ultimately agrees with Shimon ben Pazi. This is the verse that's seen as the essence of the entire Torah. And that right there, that's the aha moment. The Torah's DNA, its very core, isn't found in some once-in-a-lifetime spiritual high. It's found in the relentless day-in, day-out grind. It's all about showing up, always. Which leads to this powerful, simple truth. We are the sum of what we do consistently. Our identity isn't really shaped by the big things we do once in a while. It's shaped by the small things we do every single day. Just think about it for a second. Yeah, we all have our main jobs, our big obligations, but who we really are, that's forged in the margins. It's in what you choose to do before work starts, how you use your time on a Sunday, whether you show up when it's cold and dark and you'd much rather stay in bed. That is where character is built. Now, this isn't just some nice philosophical idea. This concept of tamid, of constancy, it had profound, real-world consequences. In fact, our own history tells a pretty dramatic story about what happens when this consistency is there and when it's not.
The Talmud tells this incredible story from the siege of Jerusalem. The Roman armies were totally stumped. They just could not breach the city's walls. Why? Our tradition teaches that it was because every single day, the korban tamid was still being offered. That one daily act created a kind of spiritual shield. And the moment that offering was forced to stop, the Gemara says the very land of Israel trembled. That's the power of consistency.
And this illustrates the difference perfectly. It's easy to get emotional during Birkas Hahama, a blessing you say once every 28 times years. But can you bring that same intention, that same feeling, to Asher Yatzar, the blessing you say multiple times a day? True spiritual greatness isn't found in the grand, rare event. It's found in elevating the small, everyday actions. And what's so amazing is that this ancient Jewish wisdom is being totally validated by modern science and psychology right now. Let's just take a quick look at how today's thinkers are describing this exact same idea.
James Clear, in his massive bestseller Atomic Habits, he just puts it so plainly. Success in anything isn't about some huge, one-time transformation. It's the slow, compounding interest of good habits. It's the korban tamid, just in a modern package. Here's a perfect way to picture this. A pilot takes off from Los Angeles, headed for New York. If the nose of that plane is shifted by just a few feet at takeoff, a change so small you'd never even notice it, that plane won't land in New York. It'll land hundreds of miles away in Washington, D.C. A tiny, almost invisible shift at the beginning leads to a massive difference in where you end up.
Or you can think of the domino effect. A tiny little domino, less than a quarter-inch tall, can start a chain reaction that eventually knocks over a domino the size of a skyscraper. The power isn't in that first little domino. It's in the momentum built by the consistent step-by-step process. Your small daily action is that first domino.
So how do we actually do this? How do we take this powerful concept and make it a real part of our lives? Well, it all comes down to finding your personal path to earning a victory every single day.
There's this powerful phrase in the world of daily Talmud study. It's not about the daf, it's about the yomi. The goal isn't just finishing the page. The real victory is in the daily commitment. The process of becoming a person who learns every day is actually more important than any single page you finish. And it doesn't really matter what your specific program is, whether you're doing daf yomi, mishnah a day, or even just grabbing 5 solid minutes of learning on your lunch break. The consistency is what creates the change. The quantity will come, but consistency is the engine that makes it all go.
Rav Alexander Moshe Lapidus explains this incredible teaching from the Talmud. How can somebody get their entire portion in the world to come in just 1 hour? He says it refers to the person who works all day to support their family, but they carve out a consistent, dedicated time for Torah learning every single day. That unwavering commitment is so powerful, it earns them the reward as if they had learned all day long.
Now let's be real. When you're not in yeshiva or some other highly structured place, this gets harder, a lot harder. You have to power your own engine. There's nobody checking up on you. In those quiet moments, it's just you and Hashem. And honestly, that's where the real commitment is forged.
You know, the former Navy SEAL Jocko Willink, he puts a modern, really gritty spin on this exact same idea. He says greatness doesn't happen for the crowd. It happens when nobody is watching, in the darkness of the early morning. It's about earning that private victory of discipline for yourself and by yourself every single day.
So as we finish up here, the question isn't about mapping out your next 10 years. It's much simpler and much more powerful than that. What is the one small consistent victory you are going to commit to earning tomorrow? Because that one small choice, when you repeat it daily, that's what will change everything.